Although we're all still talking about last night's great game and a great victory that was, especially against Chicago, what we're going to be discussing here is, in the next few minutes, is something that's even more important than the Packer game. Sorry, Donald.
I'm okay with it.
Okay.
I'm okay with it.
This Sunday happens to be the beginning of National Child Passenger Safety Week.
Good job.
Feels pretty good.
You're going to be safe now.
My boys are bigger. I still remember 18 years ago when Matthew, our firstborn, was born, and leaving the hospital, making sure we were all freaked out in advance, making sure we had a car seat out and that we knew how to use it, probably like a lot of parents here. And then a year later, our son Alex, who's now a freshman, or our oldest is a freshman, our next son Alex is a senior in high school. In fact, down in Appreciate, I'm going back to watch him play football tonight after this at Wauwatosa East High School, where he's a tight end. But I have got two nieces, one who just started kindergarten and one who is in third grade. And for about 6 months when they came back years ago from Arizona, they lived with us. And so we got real used to, even though our boys are older, to making sure we were putting the car seats in right for my brother and his wife, my sister-in-law, and now for my parents as they watch our nieces. And it is so incredibly important. We talk about zero in Wisconsin, particularly this week, when you think about child safety seats and making sure that whether it's in car seats or booster seats, for kids from 1 to age 12 across America, the #1 cause of death is a car accident. You think about all sorts of other things, the #1 cause for death for kids from birth until age 12 is a car crash. And so it is just so abundantly important when you think about that, and when you think about the Department of Transportation has pointed out to us that about 80% of all the car seats in Wisconsin are not installed properly. It is incredibly important for us to put focus on the fact that so many of these things are preventable. And if we could put a focus on making sure that everyone takes a look at this video, whether you get a copy of it at the hospital with a newborn, whether you go on to the website zeroinwisconsin.gov /child safety seat, it's right on there. Put it on your TV stations, put it up on your link to your own websites. But it's incredibly important for everybody in this state to know if you've got kids or grandkids or other neighbor kids or whoever, you got to make sure you not only have them if they're age 4 and under or 40 pounds or under in a child safety seat, if they're age 8 or under or 80 pounds or under, if they're not tall enough as well, you've got to make sure that they're in a car seat or a booster seat, depending on their age, their weight, and their size, and that it's got to be properly installed for it to work. And so it's my real honor today, not just to talk about it, but to introduce someone who's been a great advocate, not only when it comes to child safety seats, although with 3 kids of his own and a young one who's still the youngest of which is still in a child safety seat, and when, just having come into the world as a newborn not too long ago, and someone who's been a great advocate overall for the Zero in Wisconsin campaign. We just appreciate Donald Driver being a part of this announcement today. Donald, you appreciate, I am wearing my tie today because I knew I'd be at a school in Wausau. I said the only thing better than being here would be giving a speech in Chicago today, but I couldn't work that out. I'd be loving to wear that tie today. That Donald Driver is a great role model on and off the field, and when he's helping us out with the Zero in Wisconsin campaign, he's yet one more great spokesperson for an incredible cause and one more person who gets the attention of not only our kids, but of the parents who need to get that attention. Someone who brought the title back to Wisconsin and Green Bay when it comes to the Packers, and who made sure that Titletown also meant the Mirror Ball as well. A champion in every right, Donald Driver.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much for coming. Appreciate it. It's been an honor to be part of Wisconsin DOT. You know, I've always told the story about Ashley that ended up passing away for not wearing a seatbelt. She used to watch over my family when we used to go out to Texas Roadhouse and eat all the time. She used to be our waitress. And I remember being at the same spot eating that night, and she left to go get something to drink from a store. And as she was coming back to Texas Roadhouse, as we all heard that story before, the lady runs the light and kills Ashley and her best friend. And Ashley would have been wearing a seatbelt. If she would have been wearing that seatbelt, you never know if she would have lived or not. But what we want to do is make sure that everyone knows that seatbelt is very important. You know, me and my wife, Bettina, we always talk about the possibility of wearing your seatbelt, making sure that our kids know the health and the well-being of wearing a seatbelt. Because we want to make sure that when we buckle up, you know, we know that Christian, Christina, and Charity, they're watching us. And we want to set a good example for them, to let them know that when daddy and mommy's not around, that you wear your seatbelt all the time. And we got to make sure that every parent sets the example. Set the example for your kid, because your kid is watching you. Just like our kids are watching us on a day-to-day basis, your kid is watching you. So set that example, be true to who you are, because when it's all said and done, our kids, they're our future. They're going to be here for us for many, many years to come. But we want to stop it. 0 deaths in Wisconsin, that's our goal. So make sure that everyone buckle up. On every trip you go to, buckle up. Thank you, I appreciate it.
Perfect. That's good. You want me to introduce you back up there?